Welcome back to another edition of Just Kicking It podcast. We are back. This is a big week, man. So far, I'm glad we were supposed to record last week, but I'm actually glad because we got the first 2 days of UEFA to talk about. Earlier, people, because people were already asking what are we emailing us thinking about what we thought about the first 2 days. So let's just jump into your thoughts so far on the first 2 days of Champions League.
Yeah. Definitely welcome back, and I agree, perfect timing, man. First 2 match days, exciting. It's good to see the squads back. Everybody's pretty much settled in. You know what I mean, and everybody kind of what we expected. I thought on match day 1, and then today, I didn't get to watch the games live, but the score lines were incredible. Like you were saying, Real Madrid. What are your thoughts?
Shakhtar had 13 players out with COVID.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
That's what makes it even worse. 13 players were out with COVID. They almost thought they weren't gonna play. Yes.
Were mostly starters. Wow.
Yeah, it was 5 starters.
That's even more incredible. I mean, what does that tell us about what's truly going on in La Liga, man? Like, you see it seems like it's a selling league right now. I mean, they selling a lot of players, right? This past off season, we seeing the movement, with the big boppers, Barcelona, and now Real Madrid. I mean, it's not La Liga of years past, man. This is a
that's not. I would say we was talking about how Barcelona falling off. We need to talk really more about how Real Madrid is falling off.
Exactly. And I mean, both teams with, such incredible resources, I mean, they are definitely reloaded with all sorts of, phenoms and talents, handpicked and plucked from all over the world. But can they really make it mesh? I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch.
I mean, does that mean that Real Madrid finna get out here and try to pay for some players? You think like the way this is looking like, well, we need to get back in because I was reading an article, and we can talk about in a minute how Manchester United said that they want to lose 80 million pounds this year, and that's why they really didn't make moves. But then in the article, it actually was a decent article, and we'll tie it together with this. They were saying that all the top clubs except for Chelsea spent dough.
Yeah,
didn't spend dough.
I think I might have saw that same article in the Daily Mail, so definitely we can get it deeper. But I think Real Madrid, history is a good indicator that they will definitely splash the cash. I mean, their talent network is unmatched. So, I mean, if there's talent out there to be found and had, they got the resources and the people to fund it.
Yeah, I was surprised with that. I was surprised with a couple of blowouts today. A lot of 4-0s, 4-1s. It was just kind of like, okay, I guess, like Atalanta came out there and was like, yo, we ain't playing. They out there with and all brothers on their front line too, damn near. I didn't realize that there was all brothers on their front line.
Italy definitely, you see a lot of brothers, starring in that league, really, even with the incredible extra layers of racism that they have, specifically in Italy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, definitely exciting. And just football overall, man, it seems like ever since COVID, it seems like more goals. And I mean, maybe that's another thing that we should dig into. Is it the fans that cause people to focus, or a heightened sense of hunger, or courage, or I mean, what is going on that's making so many leaky defenses and these incredible score lines? 4-4, 3-3, 5-2. What did y'all lose? 7-1?
7-1, right? I mean, I wonder if you have the crowd there, you'll get back on Dave, and like if it's a high lob over the top of you and you hear the crowd going, oh, you're like, oh snap. But like when ain't nobody in there, you just got to kind of listen to your boy. But if the crowd is like, oh, you like, oh, let me get on it and get back to the play. I wonder if it's that.
I think that's got to be a factor, man, and maybe people are a little bit more like lackadaisical without that fan pressure. And it like you said, I definitely agree with you. I mean, oftentimes just a few seconds ahead of time, that crowd is roaring and you kind of already know what's happening, even if it's something that you technically can't see or, you know what I mean, it's happening over your shoulder. So yeah,
you're like, let me get back. I need to get back. I need to get back. You like, I need to get back. Something's happened. And I've seen a lot of especially go ahead.
I was gonna say, nobody wants to make a mistake or have egg on your face in front of 80,000 people. I mean, it's different if it's your teammates, coaches, and the opponents versus
Yeah.
80,000. You know what I mean? Blowing the top off.
I mean, and really, home field don't mean nothing no more. Basically now, right? I mean, it's really just the travel. You just basically like, man, I just don't feel like traveling.
Man,
That's really the only thing.
they doing that private and by private train at that. So I mean, they so comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, you sitting in luxury stuff. It's not like you sitting there, on the Greyhound.
Yeah.
Going to the next city. Where it's uncomfortable.
Exactly. Now they got the best.
But you chilling. You probably got masseuses on there. Everything you kind of want to do, that you got it.
Sit back, relax. Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, my Manchester United boys did what I thought. We'll probably end up losing to Shakhtar next game, as I predicted. We'll go out and beat PSG. But
oh, my bad. Congratulations, though, man. I was happy.
Yeah.
Y'all do well. Some names on the team sheet that I hadn't seen before. The young African defender. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he got injured, man. He was out 10 months.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I hadn't seen him. You know what I mean? But he was.
Yeah, he's been out 10 months.
And then Rashford, stepping up. I mean, I'm still not sold on him, but I mean, that was a big goal in a critical time, in the beginning of the game.
It's so interesting. You said a lot of people say that's the only person they're scared of is Rashford on our squad.
I would say Pogba, I mean, and definitely for
I guess you got to just, I mean, I don't think you're scared of him because I guess maybe you don't know what's going to happen. Like, especially on that wing when he come running up in his speed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because he should have had 3 goals yesterday.
Yeah. But I always feel like he's so inconsistent that you can dodge some bullets with him. But when he's on. He definitely is a weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Martial as well.
And it's interesting. PSG is like a Pac-12 team in like football and basketball, where it's like they got all this talent, and it's like you get to the big things and they never get there. They went to the finals, but if you look at their bracket, they way down. Wasn't like they wasn't going against no heavy hitters en route.
It's always like with their resources, they should field a better team. I mean, they obviously got some big time stars and Neymar, Mbappe, and many others, but they also tend to kind of get those guys where they're just on the fringe of being like a Premier League quality, or then you see the older player like Thiago, that Chelsea actually just picked up, that veteran.
Yeah. Cavani that we got.
Exactly, that tail end. So they never feel like that team that's always within the same age range and full of stars. I want to see that from them with the kind of money and resources they have.
I mean, if they don't, there is a very, very possibility they could not make it out this group.
I can see that. It feels like Neymar is such a dysfunctional person. It feels like that is imprinted on PSG, where they're like, you watch the game, they arguing, and it's not like they're not on the stage. Neymar trying to do his thing. And Mbappe, he gonna force the issue. He's a talent, but it's not cohesive. It's not orchestrated.
Like, it feels like Mbappe's turning into a Neymar, like crying after every call. Like I haven't seen this Mbappe like this before. I haven't watched a lot of PSG, but I was like, hey, he's a whining dude though, and he wasn't like this when he was in the World Cup squad, like whining like this, and like every play he feel like he's supposed to score on. Like it felt like a whole bunch of prima donnas.
Yeah, no, really, I totally agree. Like he was hard working. Diamond in the rough. You could see the talent, and he was working hard, and everybody got behind it. But like you said, man, he's pivoted. It's almost like just following Neymar's shadow. Like I'm a prima donna. None of the rules apply to me. Special protection for me. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Because like on that one penalty call, with the one call where it was a good tackle, he gonna stand up, walking around and stuff. The play is still going on. Like where's my call?
Yeah.
Like he supposed to get them Jordan calls.
Man, these guys, they got that Jordan sponsorship. You know what I mean? That's about it. But you're absolutely right, man. They believe that they are.
And does the Mbappe thing of him saying he's not coming back, how does that permeate this team where he's already kind of on a Michael Jordan, like this the last run?
Well, I think he cemented himself as, like obviously being a top-notch talent globally. I mean, it's not a non-debatable issue. Anybody will want them on his team. So now it's just about getting the money right. And so they've been talking about this for so many years. I think he definitely, pops up in La Liga next year, unless Manchester City, comes out of nowhere and does something.
But they're already kind of like unofficially contractually obligated to Messi, aren't they? Like where it's like kind of, or could Man City pull the like, you know what? It ain't signed. My bad. Mbappe was available.
I don't know. I mean, I think I would rather take a younger Mbappe than a aging Messi. You know what I mean?
How do you think Mbappe would be in the Premier League?
I mean, he's got the talent to, I think, succeed anywhere. But, I mean, that Premier League learning curve and just the physicality, the speed of the game, and the weather, the big weather change, I think that would definitely impact his
game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm wondering if the bang bang of the teams too, where you could take off of some games in that Liga 8, kind of like there's really no games off. Half your games are gonna be at the top against the top 6, damn near.
Exactly. No, definitely.
So you gonna have to play every game. You can't take no games off.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a huge, and I think that's why, La Liga becomes more attractive because it's more similar, where you got the big top teams and the rest of the time you're just going through the motion. You know what I mean? And then you get ready for your big game.
So overall, who impressed you the most from who you got to see in the first 2 days of match play?
Yeah. Well, definitely. I liked what I saw from Chelsea. They came.
I mean,
out,
you really that wasn't a bad result for you all with the tie with the Sevilla.
All things considered, yeah. All things considered, that wasn't bad for us. So I was just pleased with that. But like I said, I saw most of Manchester United, and that I really liked what I saw from y'all. I mean, it pains me to say it. I love to kick dirt. I mean, I feel like it was just more spirit in the team. The ball was moving faster. You know what I mean? And the defense looked more cohesive than usual.
And keep in mind, Pogba didn't come on to the 61st minute too.
Right. But the goalkeeper, I thought your goalkeeper looked really, really good. You know what I mean?
De Gea looked like the old school De Gea. Yeah,
exactly.
Even though keep in mind, Pogba did set up the goal to Rashford too. He got the assist on that.
Oh yeah. No, I mean he will always show his influence, man. Definitely, he's a calming, creative type. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say that Shakhtar win over Real Madrid is you got to think now they have to go out. They got to play Inter Milan, and they have who did Inter Milan just play that they tied with? Borussia Mönchengladbach. And they just tied 2-2. So now you got two teams ahead of you to the table. You don't even have a team tied with you with 0 points. You have two teams ahead of you with at least a tie.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I mean, definitely Shakhtar, I mean, that was the shocker, 3-0, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody that saw that coming. I mean, you just expect kind of Real Madrid to perform Champions League. This is what they do, you know? That's their element.
Right. Like, okay, but then they lost to, what was it? They lost to Cavalli or whoever on Saturday. Right. 1-0. Like,
kind of like, this ain't what we are accustomed to, man. So it's a new norm, definitely. But that was exciting.
And I don't know what's going on with Zidane. I don't know why he's not starting Vinicius anymore. Vinicius in general. Why is Jovic starting over him? I don't not understand it. He came in. That team went from 3-0 up down 3-2 in 15 minutes in that second half.
Did that young Norwegian kid, the midfielder, Odegaard, was he playing? Because I heard they called.
Yeah, he played.
Was he playing?
Yeah, he played. He came in as a sub.
He was like.
He was okay.
Phenom since he's been 12 years old. He's been on the radar as a big time playmaker.
So he's like Haaland was. He's like Haaland was basically.
Or what Freddie Adu? Remember Freddie Adu?
Freddie Adu. Oh, that's right. I forgot about Freddie
That's
Adu.
how I think his name is Odegaard, the Norwegian. That's how he was. Where like since he was like 10, 12 years old, he's been on the radar. You know what I mean?
Dude, we're going to have to do a expose deep dive in one episode into the rise and fall of Freddie Adu.
We
Like,
really
cause
do.
that was a big deal in the 90s, though. Like,
It really was, and I mean he's been all over the place, man. And actually, his name just popped back up recently. So yeah, let's table that definitely.
yeah, so is he playing? He's our age, though. He can't be playing still.
And he's a bit younger than us, but they never know. Okay? And that was part of what the article was saying. Is you remember he was supposedly like 14, but you know I think he's a guy.
He looked like he was 17.
They were saying he was 16, 17, and their paperwork ain't necessarily always that tight, so he might have.
It's the Albert Pujols.
Because he did look a little strong back then. I mean, a little strong.
You was like, hold on, man. You're 5'11", but you already 205.
Looking back, I'm like, man, at that age, like at 14, man, Negroes' necks ain't that. You know what I mean? Like, he had a neck on him. Like, come on now, bro.
So let's go and jump into some more of the topics, man. Great job with the notes, man. So this Rooney rule, man. What do you think about this potential Rooney rule that may be coming to the UK?
Yeah, man, that kind of caught my eye. With all the racism, social justice that's going on, I felt like it was kind of appropriate. And I think that the Premier League specifically and just football overall, I think it is ready for a change. And I know we're going to get into this, potential European Super League. I think now the black athlete, the African athlete, the minority athlete has the juice, just like in the NBA, not only on the field of play on the pitch, but also in the front office. And you're starting to see that in the NBA where the players are calling the shots on the coaches and some of the front office positions, and I think that right now that European Super League is going to not only draw in, it's going to change football as we know it, where it's going to be almost like the NBA in college basketball, where it's the same game, but it's not the same game, where you're going to have to be a skillful hybrid athlete to really perform and survive in this European Super League. And what we see now as the Premier League and European football is going to be the equivalent of college basketball, where it's a slower game. It's a more technical, long ball game instead of a technical ticky-tack sort of game. Where
So you think it's going to change? You think it's going to change the Premier League?
I think it will.
The Super League has the potential to do that.
Yeah, I think that Super League is going to draw that black athlete, and that black athlete that's going to give them the power to demand that front office position and those coaching positions to really start being filled by minorities and people of color. I think that's the pendulum shift.
So has there been a black coach in the Premier League?
Yeah, there has been.
Or black manager, I was saying.
And some mixed brothers too, you know what I mean? But
right.
Just not proportionately. I mean, it's the same problem as the NFL. They're not getting legitimate interviews, and then they're getting a runaround, and it's the good old boy network, and you recycle the handful of coaches, and
the same guys.
The same guys, where then you can always say, well, the reason we can't hire you is because you don't have the experience, but you don't have the experience because you never get a shot. So I mean, what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, it's interesting on top of that of how if you look at the leagues overall going forward, and we can transfer this in the Super League, and I want to attach onto this conversation the changes to potentially in relegation too, and I've added that to the notes too. I just thought about it to how they're only going to regulate. They're going to do basically what the Bundesliga does for their relegation, and they're going to cut out the FA Cup, and relegation is going to be the where those last three slots in a tournament versus the third place team in League Two.
Okay.
For the last spot. So if you finish in a because right now for instance, in Bundesliga, to explain to people, the bottom 3 teams in the league go against the third place team in the league, the second league below, in a tournament, a 14 tournament, and whoever wins in that gets the third spot.
Okay, top division.
In the upper league, okay. Right?
And then the other two,
so basically fall down.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I think as it is, just on the point system alone, it's exciting enough, and it's a consequence enough to any organization where, you know, you can't play the game like the NBA and say, okay, we playing for draft picks, you know, and that's the program right. for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like that. I mean, that would just make you watch more games. You know?
And the Premier League is going to give League Two, the second league, like $100 million or something crazy, because they're going to cut out the FA Cup, and it's only going to be one cup.
I mean, FA Cup's been around.
That's what people were saying. They were saying there's no chance for teams to really get that one shot, maybe, you know, to go all the way and be a Cinderella.
And tradition has to, you know, count for something and stand for something, man. I mean, I'm all for making things more fun and more exciting, but at the same time, I like some of the tradition. You know what I mean? The FA Cup's been around damn near, what, like 200 years or something crazy? You just gonna act, you know, just.
Yeah, it's gone. It's going to be gone. Because they figure they have too many cups already compared to the other leagues, and they feel like they're wearing down players more when they go into action. Because you could have an FA Cup game this week, then you're in the Champions League, then the Emirates Cup is coming up. You know, the Caribou Cup is coming up right after that, and you got that too.
No, I get it. It is a lot of fixtures. I mean, it's a lot of, you know, tournament games, like you're saying. I mean, there's no denying that. But, I mean, the kind of money these guys making, you know, play the games, man. Play the games.
Yeah, so let's talk about this Super League a little bit more, man. Like, so basically it's going to be the 16 most powerful teams in Europe. Offhand, who are these 16 teams is my first question for you. And my second one is, what are the teams that get left out that end up suing and going to court for being left out?
Oh man, you know it's gonna be a mess on how you determine those. I don't know the answer to that. But when I started doing a lot of research and reading on this, man, this is really, really interesting to me, man. I pictured this being like the Bruce Lee movie, you know, where they went to Fight Island. You know what I mean? You got all.
Yeah, you talked about this before in Dubai. You talked about this before in Dubai, like some in Dubai.
This is going to be like, you know, football, soccer island. You know what I mean? Where you get the best of the best. They go all fly in on their private jets, and we're gonna have a tournament. And you know, they saying who's at the core of this, of course, is American billionaire, the Red Sox owners, you know, who own Liverpool, that they're the driving force, you know, behind all of this. So, you know, it's just going to be a billionaires boys club and let the chips fall where they may, man.
So who makes it in? Let's just do a quick. I'm saying 2 out of La Liga.
Yeah.
So you got Barcelona, Real. We can start from the easier ones. Then PSG, that's the only French one that's going to get in, I'm assuming.
Ah, man. I mean, you have people. Okay. Let's go through our list of definites first. Okay.
Yeah, definites. Yeah, PSG's in.
Out of France, that's our own.
Juve.
Okay, Italy.
Yeah, Juve out of Italy. Juve.
Okay.
Do you say Juve and AC Milan or Inter Milan? Who gets in if you got to get 2 out of there? Or do all 3 get to go?
Oh, man, that's tough, man. But I think you definitely – AC Milan will be fringe for me, man. I mean, from a, like, historical standpoint, you want to say yes, but, like, the kind of money and how, you know, how the team has used resources recently, I don't think they can perform in that league. You know?
Or have the money to be able to get into this. Because you know it's going to be like a buy-in problem. Like
I mean, you had to be splashing cash to have a chance to really compete. I mean, it's an arms race at this point.
So then Bundesliga, is Bayern the only one that gets in this? Or does Dortmund? I mean.
Man, I'd say Bayern's the only slam dunk, but Dortmund would be knocking, and they can make a hell of a case. I mean, they can make a case, but I mean, they're
And then
a grow and sell team. You know what I mean?
that's my point though, is that but would this force Dortmund to try to become a powerhouse though, with this 16-man league and not be a trading team?
Yeah, I think you're only going to be able to play in this league is to have basically no financial limitations. You know, where it's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of, can you find the right piece? You know, I think that's
okay. And so, and in our league, I'm assuming, is it our top six is automatically get in, or is it?
It's just difficult to say, man, because it's the
I mean, because Spurs ain't gonna have the paper, right?
That's what I'm saying. The history of what we've seen says that they're not going to spend that kind of money. I mean, their owner is frugal and a bad decision maker, habitually, kind of like yours. You know what I mean? Levy and Spurs is the same as the Glazers at Manchester United. I mean, they make bozo moves. You know what I mean? Like, and
that's right. But I mean, so I will say 5 in a possible.
Yeah. Okay, I can give you that.
5 in a possible. So we have 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. So we have 4 spots open.
Well, I think you're going to get a team from China. Somebody over in China is going to figure out some money.
Oh, you think somebody going to jump in and not make it European where it's like, oh no, we getting in on this paper.
I think they're going to try to. Or even if it's not a team from Asia, then I mean, are you going to kick Russia out? Russia is close enough commute-wise where they can play in that league, and I mean, they definitely got billionaires over there that own teams that could definitely.
So you said, could you see a Russian team that's not traditionally good being in this because they got paper?
Yes, absolutely.
Like a Lokomotiv Moscow,
exactly.
Like a Lokomotiv Moscow,
or Spartak Moscow,
where you'll be like,
I mean,
yeah, it'd be like.
They got their resources nationalized and privatized over there, but they also do sponsorships, you know what I mean? And got all kind of back or oligarchy channels that they work in the money. So, I mean, they definitely could participate. Definitely. The Kremlin.
So you're saying, so you're saying we'll throw a China team in, we're at 13. You want to throw a Russian team in, we're at 14.
Yep.
We have 2 more spots. Does an Ajax come in?
And that's why,
even though they're in the same position as Dortmund.
I think the reason why you could see some teams from other places is you're going to have to do a bubble, essentially like the NBA. And that's why, I mean, that's my analogy of the Fight Island from Bruce Lee, where this is a football island and everybody just flies in and have the tournament somewhere. And that they got the Nigerian billionaire that we've talked about several times who wanted to buy Arsenal. Yeah. Maybe this is his way to get in. You know what I mean? I could see him money to buy into something like this, you know?
I mean, since you're opening it up, could you see somebody being ridiculous enough from the U.S. to try to get an MLS team in this?
I don't think that's possible.
Because the money that's coming in, but the money that's coming in, they would not be able to generate it to be able to even get the entry fee. I'm assuming, like if it's 70 million pounds just to show up, I don't know if nobody got that in the MLS.
Yeah, but before I would see an MLS team, I think you'd see something crazier where, like, you get a South American and Mexican team to join forces to have a representative buy in, because
you're saying a basic all-star team of the Western Hemisphere,
exactly,
basically.
and sit in this boat and say, hey,
the American squad.
Exactly. It's mercenary.
So you think this could get real ridiculous if they keep rolling this out? This could get even more ridiculous.
I mean, I think it's a model for it, and I was just also another piece of this puzzle is that how they consume the game over there is different than how we consume it. I mean, we doing Peacock. We're doing our different.
We got to stream out everything. We got to stream all our stuff.
Exactly, but they're actually paying per game. Like per game per.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's not like you just get access to the network. I mean, it's like literally per game. So, I mean, even like I'm saying them watching them online right now, I think it was like 15 pounds. So what's that translate to, like $12 or something like that? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like that's pretty crazy, man. I couldn't imagine doing
So
that.
I mean, so this Super League, I know when I sent you the article, I know you was like, this is what I've been talking about since we started this show.
Yeah,
It's just starting the beginning of with the European Super League.
exactly. No, man. I mean, that just shows that we ahead of the curves ever so slightly. You know what I mean? We definitely went into
I
this
mean,
before we knew about this.
and I wonder if we'll see, like you said, we'll see some teams that you never like. Oh, I didn't even think they had no paper. There's somebody that came up. You know what? If this is the way the route is going,
Mhm.
we're gonna have to keep up. Like Dortmund may be like, you know what? We normally development, we keeping everybody, and everybody can get their check. Everybody, y'all all get a check now.
Well, I mean, we're breaking down the
Haaland,
position.
you ain't going nowhere. You know, Sancho, you ain't going no. Reina, you ain't going nowhere. Bellingham, you ain't going nowhere. Like,
Well, I mean, it's a couple of more things to think about here. Like bigger picture, does FIFA, they still going to act as the governing body to sit at the top of the pyramid and run this league as well, like they run every other league? That's number one. Or
yeah,
is there,
it's. I think. Oh, I see what you're saying.
you see, like, are they the governing body, or is there just a commissioner named? I almost see this turning into like a UFC pay-per-view model situation. And I think that can bring in new investors where people see the sort of money and revenue. And that's back to my original point. That's where all these other leagues, La Liga, Premier League, they just become like college basketball to us now, where it's like, yeah, it's fun to watch it, but this ain't for all the marbles. This ain't where the top talent lives. It's maybe a
Yeah.
fun watch and some up and coming talent, but the top tier talent doesn't live here anymore. I think that's what we're about to see change.
Mm. What teams do you think will be able to will be able to benefit? I mean, does these make the teams in these leagues even better going forward? I'm assuming that now you're not gonna want to play for a team unless you go and play on Fight Island. If you can't go play on Fight Island and get them extra checks, why am I signed up to play for Everton when y'all not going to Fight Island?
Well, yeah, those teams will no longer be able to compete financially, where it won't even, I mean, the top tier talent won't even consider that. The talent is going to go to where the biggest bag is, man. I mean, that's just the
Yeah,
bottom line. You know what I mean? You're playing this
yeah,
game for a finite amount of time. You're going to make as much money as possible. And the fans, who drive these economies, we're going to go and spend our money where that top talent lives at. I mean, that's just the facts of the matter. I mean,
I
more
mean, think about it. You could probably get some BDP pay $50 for the whole league for that league for the year. Like at least for the US. You could get them like this the $50 package for the Super League, on Fight Island. They play it once a month down there,
I'm in.
and you exactly.
Take
That means you're gonna get groups. You're gonna get groups with Man U versus Real Madrid every month.
It's gonna be blockbuster. Every time it's a game, it's gonna be time to watch, man. And that's an incredible thing, man. I think that makes the game progress. And I think that this falls into another point that we always talk about, the role of black folks taking over. I think this is another
Mm-hmm.
pivotal shift where you're going to have to be a supreme athlete to compete in this super league. And I think that's going to, make the African countries and that African talent just rise to the top, man, where these other guys ain't going to be able to compete. They're not going to be able to keep up.
Because I was even thinking even a deeper level. You know who's sitting around the chicken coop, I feel, network-wise, to scoop this up and blow it up is ESPN, dog. To be like, we're the exclusive people for the Super League. Like,
Yeah.
and we have it. And we're going to put it on ESPN too. Like, we going to Super League it out. And like, I'm getting ad revenue from everybody. Gucci watches in Italy, whatever. Your small little Italian, if it's big in Italy, throw it on our station. We stream it all, baby. We got it all. Come to us.
I mean, that just
We'll,
goes to
we'll
show
drop off 900 million.
it's going to be a race for those TV rights, man, like we've never seen before. And we've seen some crazy TV, rights packages before, but this is going to go to a whole nother level. And like the Premier League right now, it's the Barclays Premier League. It's backed by Barclays Bank. You know what I mean? And they saying that Chase is behind this Super League where they're going to allocate.
Really?
You didn't catch that part? Chase is in on this.
I didn't trip off that part.
They're going to call it the Chase European Super League is what they're thinking about calling it right now. But Chase is going to be the backbone of the financial backbone behind all of this because it's going to become a financial arms race. Think about the credit.
And I got a Chase credit card. Maybe I can get some hookups.
It might be time to get
This is gonna be it, man. It's the future. I mean, I guess they would. The only way that we like so. Would it make the Champions League become the NIT now? Well, like remember back in the 70s, the NIT was like the people didn't know back in it was like the national championship game. The NIT was back in the 70s and 60s. Would this be this culture shift where March Madness became in and NIT was like, man, we just kind of here.
Back burner. Yeah, we sit in the back seat. I think it has to.
Could you see a situation where like Man U sending their second team to the Champions League, but the first team is going to the to Skull Island?
Oh man, no. You can't. I see what you're saying. To have maybe send a reserve team just to keep them sharp or something.
No. I'm saying like how we do for the cups, like some of the cups, like where if you're playing the bottom, you're not playing everybody. You kind of like
you sit your starters, you let your reserves.
Yeah.
I think that's possible, but I think, man, this Fight Island, I think it's going to be so much big money and exclusive where the entire team is going to be star-studded. You're not going to have any, younger talent or, the aging guys. Everybody is going to be top-tier prime. Everybody, the entire roster. Where no, you're not going to participate in anything but this.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing that there's this possibility of this because it could go in so many different directions. Because like you said, like I didn't even think about the idea of somebody from the Chinese league or somebody being like, hey, what's the buy-in? I'll buy my way in. Like we may not have the team on paper, but I'll buy my way in. I'll drop off $500 million. Let us in, and we just gonna do what we can do.
No big money talks. But the other side of that coin, man, I was listening to another podcast, man. Some guys across the pond, and they were talking about. It's destroying the English game and just the history of a lot of these clubs, man. Like, you got to remember, even the way it's set up over there for a lot of these clubs where the team and the stadium was in the city center, and became a fabric of these neighborhoods where, we're just accustomed to, like, our stadiums being in big metropolitan downtowns, you know what I mean? Not like a fabric of a neighborhood. And, just the history and the tradition and the passing it down, father to, son. And, man, I hate to see that go, man. I mean, that's why, like we saw last week, the Merseyside derby, that's why that's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's because of those neighborhoods, because of that history. The Super League destroys that. Does it just write a new chapter? Forget about the old?
I think you do. I think you end up creating some new rivalries, too, because now – Real Madrid may get into it with Chelsea, and then now we see you on Fight Island twice a year because we in the same group. Like
yeah, but I mean,
we gonna see you.
Does the loyalty become so fickle where your billionaire owner lost their money in a coup in your country, in their country? Now your team falls off the map. I mean, is it one of those? Now it's just fickle. Whoever's hot. You don't care about your.
I guess maybe maybe the last two spots can be like a rotating thing.
Okay.
Of like you got to earn. Even if they want to keep it, I guess super fair. If you come last in your group, you got to come up with some more paper or something to stay in. And if you don't, somebody else will take your spot.
Maybe you keep the Champions League around and relevant by saying winner of the Champions League qualifies for the European Super League or something like that.
Mm.
You know,
Or,
but
even let's make it even better. So you won't have teams that are kind of throwing it. The team that is not in the Super League that makes it the farthest can go. So what if Bayern wins the Champions League? Then it's Knicks. It's the team that is not currently in the league that went the farthest.
I see that.
Let them get in.
Yeah.
And another team I just thought about that might spend some dough is RB Leipzig. I can see them taking that Red Bull money and being like, you know what, it's time to infuse that cash and let's go.
Yeah, they'd have an argument. They'd have an argument just as good as anybody. And like you said, that Red Bull money is relevant. You see, they spending money over here in the MLS. They got that racing league.
Yeah.
They spending blowing money going to space, doing the space jumps and all of that. So I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't rule that out at all.
I would actually say RB Leipzig before Dortmund because RB Leipzig was in League 3, I believe, 5 years ago. Yeah, that's how fast they moved up that club, throwing money in it and just moving them up. And now they was in second place last year, like in 5 years.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's like this is not by accident. It was a master plan, you know what I mean, that they've been executing on for several years, like to your point. So, yeah, no, that's valid, man. I could definitely see them making the jump.
All right, man. Let's get into this VAR, man. What do you think about the offsides, penalties? You know, the reviews. You know, what do you think? You think? I mean, it's taken away from the game, or what? Like, what are we looking at?
I'm all over the place like bird shit on this one, man. I gotta be honest with you because
did you see the last Real goal? Did you see the Real goal that was called back in the last minute?
No, I didn't see that.
They call offsides on Vinicius Jr. He didn't even touch the ball though, but they were saying that he was offsides in impairing the goalie's vision from the Valverde free kick. Kick.
Man, it's just
so I was like, hold on. You could be offside and not a touch. Like, I always thought offsides is if you're finna touch the ball. Like I can be wherever as long as I don't touch the ball.
Yeah, but there is always the impeding another player. And so if he's impeding the goalkeeper's,
he said the sight. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. It's rare, but I have seen that before. But man, I just don't know what a penalty is anymore. I don't know what offside is anymore. I just don't know, man. It's like every week, every time I'm watching the game, it's like we just learning on the fly. And the referees don't even seem to know anymore. I mean, they just really don't. Like,
you got to wait 15 minutes to cheer for a goal.
Absolutely. You better not get excited because you don't know how it's going to pan out. You can't trust your eyes. You can't trust your eyes anymore, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I wanted to come back to the conversation with you is, do we really want – we get it, man. Referees make mistakes, and it's frustrating when they do. But isn't that part of the game? I mean, do we need every call to be 100% correct?
I kind of think it should go to the football situation where you get your coaches get a certain amount of challenges.
Mm-hmm. I think that would help, man.
And and maybe you lose a substitution if you're wrong on you lose a substitution.
Well, I've heard a couple of things that I thought are important about VAR, man, is that it's now a situation where the smartest guy, you used to want to be the referee watching the game on the field. Now you really want the smartest guy to be in the studio reviewing VAR. That's number one. You know what I mean? So let's take the top referees off the pitch and put them guys in the studio. Because I was watching, it was that first game last Saturday. And, it was just incredible, man. I mean, they judging a guy being offside by, like, the hair of his chinny chin.
It was Mane.
Yeah, Mane. I mean, they judged his shadow, his elbow, or something.
It was something like it was like the letter of, and they claimed the letter of the law, on it, like it was his elbow or something when he jumped up.
And then, I mean, the Liverpool game, right? I mean, the guy gets injured.
And you don't call that.
You can't even. The referee said he didn't know he could review for a red card because he said he was only reviewing for offsides. He don't even know the rules. The studio got it wrong. The referee got it wrong. I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? I mean, and just not to take us off track here, but does that derail Liverpool? Losing your captain, one of your captains, and I mean, your defense.
And you're talking about they're talking, and this could devastate Liverpool because they somehow he's out for over a year. They're saying best case scenario is the Euros. Best case, like if he has the best rehab ever, it's Euros. We're talking about July, July of the summer.
That's drastic, tragic for him, man. Van Dijk, I'm happy he got, to lift that trophy, man. But who knows if he ever comes back the same. And he's right around that age where it's like, yeah, if it works perfectly and he comes back, he may have a couple of more years left. But if it really takes 2 years, 2.5 years to get back to this level, man, it's career over, man. Honestly, at the Premier League level.
I mean, they said that they're going to go after, up and kind. They're talking about a couple of the players that try to shore up their defense in January. But my thing is, but he was meant so much to that squad on so many levels.
Experience,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And, not only that, but the Dutch team, the Dutch team.
They're not going to have him either.
So, I mean, double whammy, man. But it didn't even look like that bad of an injury, but I just, felt incredible that they did not review that and pay. That obviously, that's got to be a red card, man. But they just let it go, man. Let it go.
I mean, and they're talking about implementing the league, I guess, a thing where you can retroactively suspend someone for something that wasn't called on the field because of this. They're thinking about that. Because Pickford should be suspended for a couple of games. That dude had both feet in the air.
You can't. You can't do that, man. That's
it didn't look bad. It didn't look bad, on visually, but after you see the injury happen, you're like, oh man, you had both feet in the air, cause
come on, man. Come on, man. You can't do that.
And the player's injured for maybe a year and a half. They're talking about maybe on the long term.
That's tough, man. The only thing I can say is, just the highs and lows of football, man. You go from lifting the Premier League trophy, now, man, just being rehab. Tough. Those are the breaks.
All right, man. Let's since we're talking about the Premier League, man, since the table has changed up now, how does everything look now with the, this actually makes me more mad that we didn't get Sancho, though. This makes me more mad because then we really would have maybe had an opportunity to maybe make a run at it if we had the Sancho.
We're still early. I always say, I don't make any harsh decisions until we hit Christmas time because the teams are still settling and, injuries always play a factor. I mean, that's Liverpool, but the table is interesting, man. Everton #1. I mean, we both been impressed with what we've seen so far, and I continue to see good things happening for them. Aston Villa. I mean, this is what I didn't see coming.
And they destroyed Liverpool with Van Dijk healthy. So you can't say what you want.
Absolutely. Jack Grealish, I understand all the attention. And him and Barkley, I like them being a real good combination working together. Liverpool being third, I mean, yeah, man, we're going to see if they sink or swim. And, they're definitely, like you said, going to have to be busy in January with another top-notch defender. And they got
Tyrone Mings, too. Tyrone Mings, too. They got Tyrone Mings on Aston Villa, too, that's doing all right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with Aston Villa. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely there. Leicester City quietly just humming along. You know what I mean? Vardy and Cruz.
Dang, man, I thought this Vardy thing was gonna be over. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, this is a 1-year thing, and he's out there. He scored with it. He got a hat trick on City, didn't he?
He's been firing on all cylinders, man. I mean, that guy puts the ball in the back of the net and can't count him out, man. So definitely, yeah, I'm still very impressed. And they got that young Nigerian midfielder, Ndidi. I like him.
That's right, yeah, Ndidi, yeah.
He's one of those guys that I think could be out of there going to chase a big payday soon. Definitely.
So, I mean, so far at this table, I mean, I think the most disappointing team that not disappointing just in general, but like how they just gave up leads is Spurs. Spurs was up 3-0. 3-0. We ain't talking about 2-0.
Man, what a game that was, man. You know, I kind of had it on had it on in the background because I was looking, 3-0. Ain't really nothing to see here.
Yep.
Man, I'm glad I kept that game on, man. Next thing I know, I was glued to it, man. The first goal goes in, Jose Mourinho, Spurs coach, he was annoyed, but he was like, listen, we got this one, 3-1.
We up 3-1.
They hit that second one. It was like, hey, tighten up, just see it out, tighten up, And then, man, that third goal, man, what a hell of a strike. I think that was Lanzini from range,
Lanzini,
what I mean?
Yep.
These NBA guys shooting it from the logo. I mean, this guy, that's kind of, with 20 yards behind the box. I mean, sometimes you put the stars to align and the football gods, check a box and say, yeah, we'll let it happen, man. But
go ahead, take it.
Perfect bounce, man, and just put that thing in the back of the net. I was just, man, incredible goal, man. Definitely. That's definitely a contender for goal of the year.
Oh, definitely. It's just a lot of packed teams in here, man. Do you see someone creeping into this top four? I mean, I guess it's so early, but amongst Aston Villa, City, Leicester City, and Everton, who is the one you would think has the most opportunity to sneak into that top four of those three?
It's tough. I'm really impressed with Everton, man. And I saw you you liked one of my tweets on Twitter about the striker.
Yeah.
He's making a believer out of me, man. And if he can keep firing on all cylinders, I think they're the one that cracked that top four and surprise us. Right now, I mean, if I had to put my money on it, I say it's going to be the usual suspects. The cream will rise to the top, and time will tell there. But I mean, if somebody was to shock me right now, I had to go Everton, man. Not just because they sitting on top, but I just like the style of play. They got I think, good pieces in the offense, the midfield, the defense, and then a top-notch coach. I just like it overall, man. And they're one of those historic teams that's dying for something to celebrate, especially with their rivals right across the river, Liverpool, being on this, success wave. They're dying to get back in there, man. So, I definitely like Everton's chances. Who you like? What you think?
I was going to say Everton as well. They just seem like they got a whole bunch of good sevens, man, across the board, which is, I mean, it ain't gonna just get you, like, jump out at you. It's not no Raheem Sterling or, Mane and Salah or somebody like that just jump out at you, but they just got solid guys. And Calvert-Lewin, he can become a star in a second, man. If he keeps this up, he's going to be in this conversation with all those other dope strikers.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And, I mean, he's not just doing it at the club level. He's looking good on the national team as well. He got his England call up and, he was playing in that last qualifying game. And he looks the part, man. I wasn't really sold, but it's just like he has just that knack for putting the ball in the back of the net. I mean, it might be a shin, it might be a knee, it might be a deflection, but I mean, just always in the thick of it, right place, right time. But also, don't get me wrong, has some skill and got some size and speed on him as well. Kind of tough kid. So I like it, man. He looked like the real deal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all these come up. But as we wrap up, our team score off this week, man. This Saturday.
Yeah, man.
Manchester United, Chelsea.
I was thinking, man, maybe we need to do a live stream.
I was thinking, you want to? We can do. We can go. I can get the promo material going, and we just do a little live joint.
Yeah, why not? Because I saw we got some tweets. Eugene Jerry out of Nigeria wanted to shout him out. He liked the stream, man, and definitely I was thinking, that's gonna be a big match. I'm not gonna go out too far on a limb, but if I have to pick,
because you don't know who's starting in goal. That's why. That's because you don't know who's starting in goal. That's why.
The manager. My manager was very clear. He said Mendy is his number one goaltender.
Okay. Because why was Kepa even playing, period? Why did Kepa play the last game?
Man, I think Mendy had picked up an injury, or no. I think it was I think he had picked up a slight injury. That's why he missed that one. But yeah, man, when we see Kepa in there, we scared to death, man. We know all bets are off, man. But I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea to take that.
Okay.
To beat you guys. Well, what kind of score line?
I'm gonna go 2-2 draw. I'm gonna split that at 2-2 draw. I'm going with the draw. Just because I could see some wanky hanky happening, and
VAR getting
involved. We'll get an own goal somewhere. We've been just giving own goals these last few games, so I'm just letting one of them go in for an own goal off the top. So that's why it ended up being 2-2. And last up, man, I want you to go on our Gareth Bale award winner this week, man. Ozil is back.
Ozil back, man. Back in the newspaper for all the wrong reasons, man. I was reading one headline said his soul has been snatched, but he's still making $350,000 a week. But he is trying to use his time productively as he sits on that Arsenal bench in London. They say that he's very active in the political struggle over there with the Turkish descendancy that he has. And so I thought that was a good move, man. Why he picking up that $350,000 every single week with the Gareth Bale, award.
Yep.
Trying to be active for his people and heritage, man. So at least kudos to Mesut Ozil for that.
Yeah, so you know what? We're gonna do a live stream on YouTube. So we'll do it on YouTube, a live stream on YouTube. Chelsea versus Manchester United on Saturday. So tune into us on YouTube. Go to the SOLC Network page. We'll be on there streaming live this game. It's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. I'll say that it's gonna be the first time we did a live, so it's gonna be.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Definitely.
You got to get up real. Is the game you have to get up real early, ain't you?
Man, it's always early for me, man. And my lady, she hates it because normally it's like 4:30 in the morning here on the West Coast, man. And I'm screaming top of my lungs. You know what I mean? And she just be pissed off. But she understands, man. Football has to happen,
Yeah, so everybody check in with us. The game is at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. East Coast people 10. All our West Coast people 7 in the morning. If y'all can get up then for this one, we'll be doing a live stream then. Yeah, man. So we will be then. Make sure y'all keep hitting us up, man. Thanks for all the emails. Everybody was hitting us up, tweeting us during the Champions League matches like, man, what y'all thinking? So hope y'all enjoyed this one. This Super League thing, man, I'm about to dive into this a little bit more before I go to bed tonight. I just want to just dream about this for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, man, and the business side of it as well is definitely a deep rabbit hole. But we're going to continue to explore this and definitely shout out for all the love, man. Definitely appreciate the engagement, man. Keep tuning in.
All right, see y'all next week. I actually see y'all on Saturday. YouTube, SOLC Network. Yep. All right.